I want to welcome you on board, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. According to the United Kingdom time, it is 2 o'clock, just slightly after 2 o'clock in the UK. My name has not changed. I am Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. For those who have been seeing my write-up or everything elsewhere and have not really come across me on a live chat program, this is me, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I'm going to look at the immigration issues in the UK, how people have been affected with the pandemic virus around the world, COVID-19, it's named. There are many people that came to United Kingdom under visa. Some are on temporary, some are on long term. I'm going to treat both of them differently. I'm going to look at their situation differently. Now, on a temporary visa that came to United Kingdom and is meant to return back to UK, back to their country of origin, rather, there are certain things that you have to do to comply with your staying in the United Kingdom. You just cannot keep your visa or your passport and just sleep on it, thinking that there is nothing. There's something that you have to do. And also those that are on long-term visa as well. There are certain things that you have to comply with. First of all, I'm looking at if you are in the UK and you are on a temporary visa, if you are in the United Kingdom and you are on a temporary visa and you are meant to return back to your country, the government of the United Kingdom is saying that you will be able to extend your visa until 31st of May 2020 if you cannot leave the UK because of what we all know about, which is travel restrictions. But because you have been on self-isolation due to coronavirus, due to the fact that you are feeling unwell, even if you are unwell, it is common sense that the borders have shut down. The aircraft are not traveling at the moment from country to country. So what the Secretary of State for the Home Department expected you to do in this difficult situation is to make a further application to the Home Office for an extension of leave to remain for a short period. So you will only be able to extend that visa until 31st of May 2020. Don't forget, today is 20th of April. So if your visa is going to expire next week or has expired last week, you can extend it to 31st of May. That's just it. You can extend your visa till 31st of May because you're on a temporary visa. So at the end of 31st of May, the Secretary of State will expect you to return back to your country if the country has already opened its borders. The Secretary of State will expect you to return back if the country has opened its borders. So you have to request an extension to remain in the UK in this ramification, in this difficult situation, in this difficult period. There is no way you can pretend to keep the passport, like I said. So visitors that are in the UK, now, there are a lot of visitors in the UK on various visa. Some are on visit visa, some are on family visa, some are on a general visa, some are on business visa. Now, if you are not really sure of what to do, there is a department called COVID Immigration Team. You will need to contact COVID Immigration Team on a temporary visa and ask for your visa to be extended till 31st of May, after which you may need to have something to do yourself and think about what to do. If the country has already unlocked the borders and you are still in the UK and you have not made effort to return back, you will definitely need to think, what to do. Now, one by one, if you are applying to stay long term in the United Kingdom, if you're applying to stay a long term, in the UK, you will need to make proper application. You will need to make proper application. before I start criticizing the Home Office said that you can apply from the UK to switch to a long-term visa until 31st of May 2020. That looks very contradicting. Now, the Home Office said you can apply from the UK to switch. So which means that if you're a visitor and you are in the UK and you have a partner that has a UK settlement status, but you only came in to visit that partner and the child, and you want to return back to your country to embark on your business, my understanding and my interpretation, let's get it right. My understanding and my interpretation of what involves switch to a long-term UK visa is that you have to make an application. But the Home Office is saying that even if you switch, the application can only be made until 31st of May 2020. And this includes application where you would usually need to apply for a visa from your home country. Now, application where you will need to apply for a visa from your home country majorly will be spouse visa. Majorly, it will be spouse visa. Majorly. You want to come from Nigeria, for example, from Kenya, from Pakistan, from Jamaica, from Uganda, from Malawi, from Nairobi, from any other country, Ghana, you want to apply from that country to come in to UK on a spouse visa. But you came in on the visit visa because you have business you are running in Ghana, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Malawi, in Nairobi. And you cannot return back to the country of origin due to the COVID-19, that got you stuck in that country, which is the United Kingdom. The Home Office is saying that you can switch, but your application has to be to mention that you are going to stay until 31st of May. Now, as an expert in immigration law, I'm now thinking, why would Home Office be the judge, at the same time be the jury, in fact, executor here in this matter? You have afforded people the opportunity to stay in the UK, to extend, to switch their stay in the UK in a situation whereby they have met the requirements. Now, if anyone comes from Nigeria, for example, from Uganda, from Kenya, which is third countries, and they have a UK citizen partner in the UK, and they have a UK citizen partner in the UK, but they are only here on a visit visa. They do not have an intention to remain, but unfortunately they are caught up in the midst of this situation, which means that the Home Office is saying that they can switch their visa. The Home Office is saying that they can switch their visa. But at the same time, the Home Office is saying that they can only switch that visa until 31st of May 2020. So if they switch till 31st of May 2020, what is going to happen to them after 31st of May? What is going to happen to them after 31st of May? And you are not only going to switch automatically. The Home Office is saying that you will need to meet the requirements of the route you are applying for and pay the proper application fee. Now, it looks as if we want to steal each other's money here. Yeah. If you stay tuned carefully, I will break this into pieces for you, giving you an opportunity to stay till 31st of May. And then after 31st of May, there is no allowance. Nothing in the rules giving you the guidance to continue to stay in the UK. And they are saying that you have to make appropriate application fee. Now, making an appropriate application fee, you can see that the spouse visa, for the example scenario that I have given, a guy came from Nigeria. He's already married to his wife. His wife is in the UK with a child. living in the United Kingdom. The wife has British passport. The son also, or the daughter also has a British passport. The husband is doing very well in Nigeria. But unfortunately, under this COVID-19, he is stuck in the United Kingdom. He is stuck in the United Kingdom. He is stuck in the United Kingdom. Now, the question I want to ask you here is that the Home Office put it till 31st of May, and you are going to pay full application. The Home Office put it 31st of May, and you are going to pay full application. Now, after 31st of May, what is going to happen to you? What position would you be after 31st of May? Given the fact that you have paid full fee, and my understanding of the full fee on a spouse visa in the UK is about 1,500 and something. If Home Office charge you the same fee they charge from outside, you still have to pay the IHS fee in that sense. Now, if that is the case, you will realize and agree with me that at the end of the day, the Home Office has not made enough allowance. They have not given leeway. You know, they have not given leeway to those, you know, that intend to apply to vary their status in the United Kingdom. Because it has already mentioned that they have to apply until, you know, they have to apply to stay in the UK. So, which means that the extended needs to be made. You know, the extension needs to be made till 31st of May. Do you understand? So if you cannot leave UK because of travel restriction, make an application, but you are stuck with the Home Office. You are stuck with the Home Office. So I'm a little bit worried in that area for you. But I'm going to leave all of you outside in that area. I'm going to move smoothly to those who are already in the United Kingdom. Let me deal with them. Those who are in the UK already, and they have leave to remain, and the leave is running out, and you are not automatically renewed because you are not NHS staff, the Home Office is saying categorically that you should proceed to make an application in an appropriate manner as usual. In an appropriate manner as usual. So you're already in the UK, you should proceed to put in an application to the Home Office. So a lot of people have been asking me questions and finding out from me whether it is worth for them to put in an application given the fact that the COVID is out there, they cannot go for biometrics, it's been suspended. Let me reiterate what the Home Office said, and that is from the horse's mouth. You have to proceed to an extension of leave to remain. If you don't proceed to an extension of leave to remain, you will become an overstayer. And after this storm, we will have no choice but to ask you to leave United Kingdom, because no one is allowed to stay in the UK without status. So if you have leave to remain already, they have granted you outside the rules. You have to really convince me why you cannot proceed for an extension of leave to remain. You have to really convince me. In the past successfully, I was able to renew for people that couldn't apply for an extension of leave to remain while they still have leave going on. And the reason why I was able to do that was due to domestic violence. The reason why I was able to do that successfully was nothing but due to domestic violence. In my representation, I was able to explain to the Home Office that the wife feels so reluctant to release her passport and not even coping or cooperating with her aim to release the children's passport either. So it was difficult for the guy and for all those that were affected, you know, to get documentation on renewal. Vice versa to the lady as well. The man brought her into the United Kingdom. And when it comes to the time for renewal, he decided to change his mind. But luckily, somebody somehow referred her to me and said, listen, go to Lawyer Tokunbo Lagbaye. I'm sure she will find a way to resolve this problem for you. I did find a way to resolve without being, without taking all the glory. We made representation to the Home Office and we claimed domestic violence with evidence. We make representation to the Home Office and we claim domestic violence. In the end, she was granted. In the end, he too was granted. What happened to he in his own case? Because she, the partner, has already, hide all the documentation necessary to renew on time. So he ran out of time. He ran out of time, unable to renew on time. So by the time they brought him to my office, I did the first application for him. While he was an overstayer, I struggled. I convinced the Home Office. They listened to me because he has a partner. He has a British partner and a child then. I made the application. Had he continued with me, he wouldn't have got that problem. But the lady, she's well, I don't really want to, stereotype, but an English lady, she took him away and gave him another lawyer to represent him for the second renewal. Now, when he's supposed to go for the third one, she has already fallen in love with a white counterpart. So which means that she's no longer interested in the black guy. And because of that, the white guy said, what are you doing with him? So they took the documents away. The passport and the supporting letters and everything was hidden away from him. What actually happened at the end of the day is that luckily for him, his parents are my lawyer fans from Ghana. So the parents took the case back to me and said, why do you have to take your case away from this woman in the first instance? So we look into the matter again on the third renewal. It was almost 3, 4, 5 months overdue anyway. So we checked the matters. And what we did was that we asked for the children's passport and the birth certificate. So we have those two. So we went back with the Home Office, and requested for an application, explained the scenario. After 6, 7 weeks, Home Office granted. The Home Office said that I'm putting him back on 10 years route. And I said, no, it can never be possible. You can't punish him for something he has no control over. The Home Office said, I'm putting him back on a startup 10 years because the gap was 3, 4 months. I wrote back to the Home Office and said, no, you won't be able to punish somebody that hasn't got control of matters or issues. His overstaying after that wasn't deliberate. It was owing to a situation that he has no control of. So therefore, it is unacceptable to start him all over. Matters were dragged on. We dragged it on for a while. But at the end of the day, I got what I wanted from the Home Office. But not in every situation you will get away with it. So the reason why I'm giving you that scenario is a wake-up call to let you know that when you have a status to live, to remain in the UK, 28 days at least before it expired, you must proceed to renewal. If you don't proceed to renewal, whatever happens in between, it's your problem. It won't be the Home Office problem or anybody's problem. That is going to be your problem. So you will need to be aware of that. Now, moving forward straight away, that is an extension of leave to remain. So it basically means that the COVID has not affected anyone living in the UK not to apply for leave to remain or not to apply for an extension of leave to remain. So if you have leave to remain and you met the requirements for extension, proceed. If you are an overstayers and you have met the requirement under 7-year rules, you should proceed to an extension of leave to remain immediately. Nothing can affect you in that aspect to give you a lame excuse not to proceed for an extension or for an application to remain in the UK, given the fact that UK is not your country of origin given the fact that you are not a citizen of the United Kingdom and you don't have any settled status, other than you want to rely on one of the requirements under the immigration rule. So I am going to implore you, I'm going to encourage you that it is paramount for you to proceed to renewal. Now, the government is also mentioning students, Tier 4 students. Tier 4 students. Let me look at your question later on when I'm able to finish my topics. I will look at all the questions later on. I will answer most questions before I leave. Now, the government is talking about the Tier 4 student. When we talk about Tier 4 student, who are we referring to when it comes to students? We're not referring to home students. We're not referring to home students. We're not referring to a guy that has a British passport that is studying in the UK for masters, for MSc in nursing, MSc in this, or BSc in nursing or this. He has British passport, he has settlement status. We're not referring to him. We're referring to the one that came from Nigeria, that came from Ghana, came from Kenya, from Nairobi, from Malawi, from Pakistan, from Jamaica, from Uganda. Those are the people that we're referring to on a student visa. You would not have any lame excuse not to make an application on time in this difficult situation. You don't have the excuse. You will not have lame excuse not to make an application on time. I've been checking out the requirements from the horses itself. It's saying that if you have applied for a Tier 4 visa and you are waiting for a decision on your application, you can start your course or studies before your application has been decided, providing, on top of my head, providing that application was submitted in time before the leaves run out. That's providing an application was submitted before your leaves run out. So you can start your course or studies before the visa application is decided. So gone are the days that the Home Office will be saying that the Tier 4 sponsorship, which is your university, that they will be telling you that, oh, they cannot accept you because you have put in an application, the Home Office has not decided. No, not anymore. Not for this situation we are. Not in this situation. This situation we are is a difficult one, which means one way or the other, we have to accommodate now. Even me, I drop prices to encourage my clients, to encourage my fans. I give them money. Even me, in order not to make it difficult for my clients, I make sure that I reduce my fee for them. I take off some money for them to encourage them because it's a difficult situation. Now, Tier 4 students, if you have submitted an application to the Home Office while you still have leave to remain, even if it's 1 day, even if it's 1 day, you know, even if it's 1 day, you submitted that application, you can still proceed with your studies. Nothing is taking you off from your course. As long as your sponsor is a Tier 4 sponsor, which means that at the time you are going for an application for extension of leave to remain, ensure you check carefully what is called your sponsor and make sure that your sponsor is still listed. Because if your sponsor is not listed as Tier 4 sponsor, which means that university, if your university has been taken off before you proceed for an extension, you are duper doom. You are duper doom. So it is imperative in this situation, in this scenario, ensure you check the guidance and make sure your sponsor, your Tier 4 sponsor, which is the university we're talking about, make sure that university is still having what we call the sponsorship license. If at the time you were going in for an application for an extension as a Tier 4 student, your university has been revoked, or the license of your university has been revoked, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Because what the Home Office is saying is that you have been given a confirmation of acceptance. So you must have been given a confirmation acceptance for studies as a student. And if you have not been given confirmation of acceptance of studies as a student, you will not be able to make a good application in that aspect. When you submitted your application before your current visa expire, you have to show evidence that your sponsor still have that tier 4 sponsorship. And you have to be on the same course. There will be no room to switch courses at this difficult time, because the Home Office will not have room to be checking everything for now. So, for example, you are a law student and you came in on a tier 4 to study LLB. Typical example. You cannot afford at this stage to switch to BSc nursing. You have to remain on LLB law. If you applied from outside and you were given an acceptance letter to come into the United Kingdom to come and study tier 4 students level on an LLB, I'm afraid you won't have the room to change. You won't have the room to change at this difficult situation. So you have to continue to remain on the same course you were studying. It is one thing to read the book. It is another thing for a good lawyer to be able to pieces it. And that's what I'm doing. The understanding of what the Home Office requires is what I'm telling you. So if you put in an application before it expires, you are fine. You don't have any problem. Now, typical scenario that is given a lot of people that came in from Nigeria, from Kenya, from elsewhere to join their partner here is that they are in a difficult situation. I have a lot of scenarios. The guy came from Kenya. He came from Kenya. He's been bombarding me heavily. He wanted me to give advice, trying to find out from me, what can he do? He came to join a spouse in the UK. His spouse is a UK citizen. But don't forget, he came on a spouse visa. But unfortunately, due to lockdown, he didn't come on spouse visa, amended statement. He did not come on a spouse visa. He came on a visit visa. He came on a visit visa. The spouse has settled status. Due to lockdown, even if there is no lockdown in the country, visitors are not allowed to work in the UK. Even if there is no lockdown, anyone carrying a visit visa is not supposed to work in the United Kingdom. The person will have to go back and go and get the right visa to come to UK. And visitors are not allowed to change while in the United Kingdom unless they have a European partner or a European spouse. So what a difficult situation for the young lad, for the young man. Well, it's a young man to me because he's still under 99 years old. That is what the English law says. So he has been so much putting under pressure by the so-called partner telling him to go and look for work with a visit visa. telling him to leave the house if he can't start putting money on the table. He's not meant to stay longer. He only came on a visit visa. And that tells a lot of people from now henceforth to know that what you are seeing sometimes it may not be the truth of what it really looks like. So she has been tormenting him, asking him to go into employment and go and find job to put money on the desk. He has been calling me, sending me messages, asking me what to do. Now, if you are out there, I cannot deal with the matters individually because there's too many people asking me similar scenario. It means that I will have to be using all my time, my day, to be answering free questions, which I can't do, I'm afraid so. And I have to be honest with you in this situation. You will need to contact Home Office. If you have been moved out of the house or you have been sent out of the house, you have to contact emergency line of the Home Office. Go on Google and get the number and tell the Home Office what you are going through. Give the details of your partner that invited you into the country, because it may be that she is on government funds. She is being supported by the public funds, being sponsored by public funds, and ask someone else to invite you into the country so that her name will not show on your record. If you are truly a partner or husband and wife, I think you should be disclosing that information to the Home Office. If you are truly partner or truly husband and wife, you have to disclose information to the Home Office if you are going to get help. Because he or she, this scenario is a she. She might have used somebody else to invite you into the United Kingdom, mainly because she's on public funds. And I can say it anywhere and reiterate again. A lot of people do that because they are on public funds, they have British passport, but they have boyfriend back there in their country of origin. And they want to bring that boyfriend into the country for a visit. So they will ask their relative or their friend to help them to invite that person as a friend, or perhaps even ask that person to apply to come to UK on a general visa and book the hotel to come to UK. Now, in this difficult scenario now, the guy is stuck. He doesn't know what to do. My advice to him and to others that are out there, if you have been invited through a friend, but you have a partner in the UK and you're having a problem with your partner, your only best scenario, in a best situation or my best advice to you rather at this difficult situation is to contact Home Office. That's the host that can deal with the matter. Because visitors are on temporary stay in the United Kingdom. So which means that at the end of their staying in the UK or their visit in the UK, they're supposed to return back to their country of origin. Now, a lot of people have used COVID as an excuse. Being the kind of person I am, I have told so many people off. You will not be able to use COVID as your dirty excuse. The reason why I said this is because you were given 6 months visa. Some of you have been calling me and telling me that you have run out of visa already. They only locked UK down perhaps 4 or 5 weeks ago. And that's when the aircraft were all suspended. That was when the aircraft were suspended from flying. Before then, if you are saying that 6 months now, you have run out of visa because of COVID, that is not true. That is not true. You have come to United Kingdom with an intention to stay behind. So you should be making appropriate application and don't mess yourself up by going through the COVID thing. Don't mess yourself up by going through COVID thing. Because if you go through COVID thing, they are going to scrutinize you. Because the way I'm thinking is the way they are thinking behind their scenario head. saying to themselves that, hold on a minute, this person came in October last year, October 2019, and this person proposed to stay 2 weeks, which means that this person is supposed to return to country of origin. If he came in October, by first or second week in November, this person is supposed to have gone back to his or her country of origin in 2019. So why are you still in the UK 4 months later and being caught up with the COVID-19 lockdown? Why are you still in the UK? So if you look at that scenario, it wasn't COVID that got you stuck in the United Kingdom. You actually stay behind in your own way, in your own style, because you do not want to return back to your country of origin. So my advice to you and to all those that are in this situation is that you should be looking for a scenario to rely on to make your application smoothly to the Secretary of State before things get out of hand. So there is no way you can use COVID. And if you look at the scenario down here now, those who will use COVID will probably be those who came in 7 weeks ago. Yeah. Or put it to 8 weeks. Because somebody who came in 7 weeks or 8 weeks ago, those are people that will get stuck. And thanks be to God, to my dearest First Bank regional manager in Ibadan, my dearest friend. I thank God that you only came in for a week or two and you rushed back. It was after you left, it was after then that the COVID issue started and they locked the country down. What would you say to your employer? A whole regional manager with almost 15 to 20 branches under her at Ibadan. What would you say? But thank God, she came in and she had a plan. She spent only 10 days and she dashed back quickly. The people you want to put your scenario before, they are also intelligent like me. They are also smart. They're not gullible. They're not stupid. So when it comes to discussing matter or putting a scenario before D, which is the Home Office, you really have to plan yourself very well. Don't forget this video is in the public. There is no way you can use COVID as an excuse if you came in October 2019 and you put it on your form that you are spending 4 weeks or 2 weeks and you have a job in Nigeria, typical example. There is no way you can use COVID. So they will be waiting for you as well. They will be waiting for you. A lot of people will get smacked in the midst of this COVID problem. Because don't forget, the government has spent so much money and they are still spending money on researchers to get the virus ready. They are spending money on the taxpayers that lost their jobs. They are spending money on care home system. They are spending money on PPE. They are spending money on self-employed that cannot continue to run their businesses. For example, hotels, catering industry, due to COVID-19. So if you are in the UK on a visit visa and you intend to stay behind on a long term, you must meet some of the immigration requirements for you to stay behind. And at that stage, you'll be taking individual advice. At that stage, you have to be taking individual advice. There is no way you can rely on your own individual readings anymore, because it becomes so complex, it becomes tedious, it becomes difficult. And that is the stage that you will hand over everything to an expert like me and say, listen, I need to pay for consultation. I need to get your brain in this scenario. This is me. And at that stage, you'll be telling the truth and nothing but the truth to get the correct advice. So you won't want to come to a lawyer of my standard and not want to tell the truth. It will be difficult to assist you. It will be difficult to help you. It will be difficult to give you the correct advice. So that is a real scenario. And as I'm leaving the public page now, I am not going to answer questions after I leave this place. So after leaving here, I am not going to take any questions. But in the meantime, before I leave, I'm going to allow at least 5 people to call in because I have work to do. I'm going to allow at least 5 people to phone me and ask me a question. If you are my ongoing client, please don't call in to waste my time. Call me after when I finish, because you may want to call me whether your case has been granted, Home Office is in charge, whether I have received your biometric, or whether I have got your passport back, or whether I have your letter of grant of status on my desk because I'm working from home. Yes, I have letter of status for people, grant of status for people, but I don't have the biometrics with me for now because the TNT company will not release biometrics when I'm not around. They will only release biometrics if they can see me on one-to-one or see a member of my staff in the office, as we have to be a compliance at this particular situation to respect the government and to respect the authority on the land. We're not working from the office. So there is no staff at the moment. I am the only one handling the delicate applications for now. So please don't call me if you are an ongoing client. I am going to only open the line for those who are just going to ask questions, one question, and I'm only going to give you 1 minute. This is not a chat line at all. 1 minute. If you cannot deal with 1 minute question, go and book your appointment for consultation, and that's about it. So I'm on 07908 628 240. Yeah. So I'm coming. I need to pin the number down for others. I'm trying to pin it down for you so that I'm on 07908 628 240 because it doesn't seem to. I don't know what's wrong with the Samsung S10 Plus there because I'm using that one for now. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you.
I have my sister. She arrived here in March.
You have who?
I'm going back. I have a sister, a family. Yeah, she came on a visit. She was to come with the husband, but the husband couldn't come with her because the husband was a contractor. So he had some things to do in Nigeria. But she was pregnant, and she booked the return flight for May 5. So, but the problem now is she's pregnant, and the due date for her pregnancy now is May 15th. That was the due date they said it's going to give back.
And she came in when?
She came in this March 4. So I don't know what is going to happen to her, and I don't know what to do, man.
You want me to give you an honest advice?
All right, man.
Okay. Now she came in March. She was already 7 months pregnant.
Yes.
So she has an intention to give birth in the UK.
Not really, because they have a return booking, but they keep changing the date.
7 months pregnancy is heavy. Some people give birth at 7 months, 8 months, 7 months plus. 7 months is heavy.
Yes. That's
so
correct. She had some important things to do in the UK. That's why she came in.
And she meant to return back when?
She's meant to return back in the first week of May.
She's meant to return back first week of May. Okay. And she's due on the 17th of May.
Yes, but she's due on the 17th of May.
So she has the intention to give birth. All she's just going to do is that if she gives birth, she's just going to change her ticket beforehand. Now let me tell you the danger before the. Now the government says that they can extend this visa till 31st of May. Yeah?
Okay.
She's still going to pay the NHS on her delivery date.
Okay.
She's going to pay for the delivery in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Now, another second danger there, giving birth in UK at the moment due to COVID-19,
Okay, man.
is that they are not going to allow any family member to go in with her.
Okay.
And anyone who go in at the time she's going in to deliver will not be able to come out. So whatever they are going to use to go in, they have to prepare it and get ready. But she should prepare money to pay NHS. She's going to be owing NHS. So even if she returns back to Nigeria, if she doesn't pay that money, she won't get the next visa, no matter how rich her husband is.
Okay, man.
So
okay, man.
Put that in mind. She's going to go back. She's going to give birth in the UK.
Okay.
Get her mind prepared that whoever wants to go in with her on the delivery day, that date here, it has to be the person that she trusted that can go in with her. Because once the person go in, they are not going to be able to come out until they discharge all of them.
Okay.
And that's the person that's going to be in the same house with her throughout the lockdown.
Okay, man.
So that's the situation.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you, bye. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir. Can I be also...
You're on to me and I'm on a live program. Are you comfortable?
Hello?
Can you see me on the live chat? I'm on a live program.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon. This is my first...
Now, if you are calling me and you want me to handle matters of this type on your immigration matter, you really have to have your mind on the platform. You will call me and you concentrate. I cannot be wasting my time to give advice while somebody else is chatting with our friend on the other line. I don't really have that pressure of time around me. Please, I don't have luxury time to spend when I'm at work. Hello? Good afternoon.
Yes, I want to ask you a question.
Please go on quickly.
Yeah. I have an age mother, yeah?
Yeah.
And she has been in the UK before. My brother invited her to come to this country. So the second time my brother invited her, they did not give it to her. They refused her. Now, I wanted to invite her to come to this country. Is it going to be possible for me to invite her to come to this country?
To come to do what? To stay or to just go?
On holiday.
On holiday?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you can. What is your status first?
Indefinite leave to remain.
Yeah, of course you can invite your mother to come to UK as long as she has not been banned when she was refused on the second occasion. She has come before and then the second time she was refused, isn't it?
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you have reached, you can get hold of the reason for refusal and you can satisfy yourself the reason why she is refused. At that stage, I think you should be taking consultation and bring that reason for refusal first before you deal with the application on third occasion. Otherwise, you'll be refused again.
Oh, okay. Okay. When can I come and see you?
You will not be able to see me. I'm working remotely.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can only book appointment and get the advice online over the phone.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing. Once I leave here now, I've got my appointment waiting already.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Now, that question is very common. It's a very common question that when people are refused, they don't take legal advice. They go in for the second application by themselves. Now, if you're being refused and you are going for application again, you have to tackle the reason for refusal. If you don't tackle the reason for refusal, you'll be refused again. I know clients that have been refused more than 3, 4, 5 times because they failed to take legal advice from an expert. Hello? So you must always take advice before you think you can do it yourself. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm on a live program. Are you asking questions?
Yes, I know.
Please. I should take you off speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's not possible. I can't take you off speaker. So you have to call me later on. I cannot take you off speaker. Yes. Can you lower your, can that person lower this one? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, I just want to know what can I do. I have an abusive wife.
Abusive wife.
Yes, we both have 2.5 years. She has refused to work. We are just at the last stage of getting our indefinite leave to remain.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. She's constantly abusing me. I mean, beating me, eating me.
How did both of you get? Did you say she's beating you?
Yes, she's beating me. Yes.
How do you mean she's beating you?
I mean, she literally hits me.
How did both of you get your status to this stage?
They give it to us based on family life.
When you say family life, what family life do you have for you to get it?
Well, the book came here as visitor 2005. I think they just use their discretion to give it to us.
2005 as on a visitor visa.
Yes.
Do you have kids now?
Yeah, we've got 3 kids in between.
And how old are they?
I've got 2 of them who are British.
So hold on. So 2 children has British passport.
Yes.
And then the younger one, it doesn't matter what the younger one's got now. The most important thing is that the children belongs to both of you, and you both have children, so you both have access. You both have opportunity to make family life under those children. Now, if you are suffering,
let me quickly mention that she's got sickle cell as well. So I think, after looking into all those, they use their discretion to give us that leave to remain.
Yeah, but your 2.5 years is how many years now?
We've got 1, 2. We just submitted the 3rd one now, and that 3rd one, the next one we're going to apply is going to remain another 1 year and some months because of the space. And the Home Office is not return our document on time. So let me say we're just on the 3rd one now.
So which means that you just submitted the 3rd one.
That's right.
So you still have the 4th one. You still have the 4th pending.
Yes. Yeah, but under the 4th one, we might not spend almost 2.5 years. Yes.
How do you mean?
We got it in 2016.
You got which one? 2016.
We got our indefinite. Our 2.5 years 2016.
The first one.
Yes.
2016.
Yes.
First one.
That's right.
Yeah. So the 2016 first one will have possibly completed 2018, depending on time they granted you, or 2019 earlier, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened to the second one then?
The second one.
Yes.
This is the 3rd one that we've done. Oh, sorry, 2014.
Exactly.
2014.
Exactly.
Yes.
You make me look idiot in the public. Exactly.
Apologies.
Yes.
Apologies.
Yes.
2014.
Exactly. I was thinking, because if you have your 2016, it means that you will only be going for the second one.
Apologies.
Yes.
2014.
That's fine. That's fine. So you have the 2014 and you have 2016.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. So the 2016 will have finished 2018 or 2019.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're supposed to be granted on the 3rd one now.
Yes. I think of the COVID, the whole thing has been suspended for now, but now we've submitted. Yeah, we're expecting them to reply us back. After the 2.5 years finishes, I think we might not even need to apply for 2.5 years again. Maybe, we will still need to apply for it, but maybe it's going to be over now.
Why are you assuming the duty of the Home Office when it's not written?
All right. Okay. Well, that is my case, madam.
Yes. So let us talk about the situation you are now. Don't even let us make decision for the Home Office. Let me give the advice on law, based on law.
And she doesn't work. I'm the only one working.
Is that the reason why the divorce, domestic violence is there?
No, I just ask her to. I'm not asking her to do 50 hours. I'm only asking her to do a bit to support me.
Do you have young children, which you said yes now?
Well, we have a 1 year and 3 months old baby.
So how is she going to go to employment with a year-old baby if you two are working full time? Isn't it?
She has never worked. That is what I'm saying. But when the paper came, I just told her, look,
Let me.
Man, then I was just answering. now the paper is can you start doing something? That is the beginning of the whole thing. She said people have been telling me stuff from outside.
Would you not think that it would be reasonable for you to just manage yourself and control the family for now and let her take care of the kids? I am not making decision for you on your family, but I'm giving advice from my point of what I'm capable to give advice on. Do you understand? In order to avoid domestic violence, but having said that, if the situation is out of control and it's something that you cannot bear any longer, I am going to give advice that you will be able to make application under the British children.
Okay, because
but remember, okay, carry on.
Before we got our papers, I was the only one working. I understand. Because I just asked her to stay with the kids while I do all the hustling. But when the paper now came in 2014, and I said, look, these kids are grown up now. They could go to school and come back.
But the one, but excuse me, sir. 1 year cannot go to school and do anything for now, isn't it?
No, I'm not talking about. It's an ongoing thing.
Okay.
Imagine 2014, I will call papers. Before we had a new baby, I told her, look, go and do something at least. If it's 20 pounds you're bringing at home, if you want to buy salt, if you want to buy this, at least you could support me a little bit. It's not only me now within all the work.
So what other methods does she rely on to get money if she's not working?
Only me.
Well, you are the husband anyway.
Yes, I am.
You know, back home she can decide to be an housewife, isn't it?
But this is England, madam. I'm not saying she should do 50 hours. A little bit to support. I mean, I want to buy salt.
You know what? You will think that I am dribbling you. Why I did not want to go into your argument and support you straight away on the issue of she going into employment is because you have mistakenly mentioned to me that there is a year-old child there.
Yeah, I know.
If you mention to me that the two children with the British passport are 8 years and 9 years old, believe me, you are going to have me full time to support you. But the fact that you have made mention of 1 year old, you are just kicking me here. I'm a woman, I'm a mother.
I'm not asking her to work now. But when my son was 16 and my daughter was 12, I asked her, look, can you start doing something now? That is where the problem is. She said I've been listening to people.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is she doing in the house? If she has not been working since 2014, that you've got status, what was she doing?
Nothing. Watching EastEnders from morning to night.
And then possibly social media.
Something like that, yeah. Social media. Social media. If there's any comment that goes on to my friends on the social media, she will say, oh, everybody's referring to her and telling people about her case. You know, I'm not asking her to work now. I'm just asking, what can I do? Would home officer tie me down to her to say, look, because she pulled out of the marriage, I'm still giving her, I'm still at home with her, I'm still doing all the responsibility, I'm still paying money to her account every Friday, I'm still paying my parents' pay, I'm still going to eat,
you want me to give a candid advice?
Go on there, madam.
It's going to be a bit blunt, isn't it?
That's all right. No problem. I like you to be blunt with me. At least I'll take it off from there. That's no problem.
Why don't you wait until the final thing is granted and see whether she will change, instead of separating your marriage now? Or yeah.
Okay.
How hard is it? You know, why don't you wait? You know, sometimes in life, we have to, in my language, Yoruba language, I don't know whether you are Yoruba. In my language, Yoruba, we say tabatori ishu jepo atori epo je ishu. Now the issue of her raising her hands against you, the next time you come up, call the police.
She has called the police 3 times.
Why would you allow her to call the police if you are the victim?
They couldn't really know. She wanted me out of the house.
Because she might have a hidden agenda. So you don't have a backup. Because if she's calling the police on you all the time, then it means that she's creating a criminal record for you.
No. I reported, she came to my place of work. She wanted to, because I do support work. She wanted to gain access to the day center I'm working in. And the police had to come for her to run away. So I've called police so many times. Anytime she needs money, when I tell her wait a message, she just come to where I walk straight. And so many times that she has beat me and rip off my shirt on the streets, shouting at me in sense, please. Oh, it's just, I'm in a tight situation now because my worry now is I don't want to hit her and that will affect my CRB because I do support work. That is my worry. So I'm just asking God to give me that patience to keep on to hold myself not to hit her. I asked her not to come to my place of work anymore. Twice she came. He has to take the police to ask her not to come to my working place 100 meters from where I'm working. On the street, she has hit me and she keeps telling me, have I seen now? Nobody's going to come. That this is a woman country. But if it's me that is hitting her, everybody will pick up their phone and call the police. There was an incident that really happened that really surprised me. Everybody were just looking at us.
The question, even though I plan not to read the comments online for the purpose of getting this thing through easily. But having said that, I can look at some of the comments here briefly. And the question is that, how is she going to cope with the children? You know, I've asked you without reading the comments. You know, I've asked you. Because if you look at your scenario, apart from the domestic aspect of it, domestic violence side that you are explaining to me, that's why I'm listening. If it's to come with the issue of taking care of the children, you have to consider the childminder fee. You know, dropping and picking kids. And then you consider the 1-year-old there as well, you know. If she's not a career woman like me, that's always a career person, that's always go back into employment, you know, I won't necessarily want her to just leave the child with a year-old, just dump a year-old. I've had my bites, I've had my cake in my career in this journey. So I won't advise any woman out there having kids to go and drop a year-old child to the childminder. The childminder are not worth it to be giving a year-old child to, honestly. So I have had, because my husband is a career-minded, I'm a career-minded, so I've had my share in this journey. Dropping kids to the childminder at that tender age, it's not worth it at all. Please, it's not worth it. So I'm going to leave that comment. I'm going to advise on the issue of making application to the Home Office. If you want to handle the matter as it is now, make a decision. Let the Home Office, let the police aware of the domestic violence side of it, so that you can have records. Because if you don't have records, it might affect you next time when you are making applications. So be wary of that. But if you need one-to-one consultation, contact me after this.
No problem. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Hello, quick one. Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Please, 1 minute.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I won't take much of your time. So, I am actually pregnant. I'm expecting a baby next month, and I'm on a Type 2 visa, man. So, I'm due to get my indefinite in August. Hello, man.
I'm with you.
Okay, yes, I'm due to get my indefinite in August. So, once I have my child, which is going to be next month or so, should I apply for... can I apply for the passport, or do I have to wait till I get my indefinite then?
No, you can't. You can't. You can't apply for child passport now to become a UK citizen until you are stamped on your passport or your card, settlement or indefinite leave to remain.
No, I understand. No, I mean, but should I wait? Because when I have the child, should I just leave the child, not apply for anything, and wait till I get my indefinite before I apply for the passport, or do I have to bring the child onto what I'm on, which is on mandatory 2
No. Don't waste money. There's no need.
Oh, because I can just wait.
Just go on your own, because you've always been doing it without the child.
Yes, ma.
So don't waste money. It's not worth it.
All right.
Once you have been granted your indefinite leave to remain, then go ahead and apply for British passport for the child, because it's a child born in the United Kingdom. So the child will be entitled.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for all you do. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. I might have to leave the line now, but for the purpose of the scenario that you have just heard, I think we had two scenarios that they call in and explain themselves. Now, on the issue of this person that said that, I think it's a visit visa, isn't it? Came into the United Kingdom, she's pregnant. In the first instance, I don't know the aircraft rule on pregnancy woman coming into the flying overseas. I don't know the rule. But looking at the issue of 7 months when she flew from Nigeria to come to UK, she has already breached the aircraft rule. If I'm aware of it, but I'm not really too certain on the how many months of pregnancy you're allowed to travel. I'm not too sure. Now, if it's 7 months and she intends to go back on the 1st of May, and she's due to give birth on the 17th of May, did she want to give birth in Nigerian hospital where they don't have good healthcare system? Of course, her plan is to give birth in the UK. Do you understand? But she should be aware of the payment, the penalty fee for visitors giving birth and using the NHS. Because at the moment now, NHS has overwhelmed with work. And in terms of finances, I think they have spent so much money now. So they are stretched. Now, so anyone give birth now, after or during these COVID expenses, they are going to whack you with money to pay. And that's as simple as that. If you want to call me, you use your Toro number. Don't use private number to call me. So that is the issue. So my point here is that the person will have to go ahead and follow the protocol, call the Home Office COVID team, and check with the Home Office COVID team what her position will be, on the delivery date. But I'm definitely certain with confidence that she's going to pay anyway. So there's no two ways about that. It's just that they will have it on record that she have the intention to return back on the 1st of May, provided she can show it on her ticket as well, because that is very important. Are you joining me here? Hello, are you asking question?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you asking me question?
Yes, please.
Okay, 1 minute.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, I've got a son. He was born as a German citizen, but he was born in the UK. I applied for the settlement scheme for him, and they grant him with it's indefinite. So I just want to find out if I want to apply for, can I apply for the British passport, or do I need to nationalize instead?
Has the child born in the, you said the child was born in the UK anyway?
Yeah.
And the child has been here for how many years?
It's just 2.
It's just what?
2 years old.
How did he get the settlement?
My husband is a German citizen.
Okay, and that means that the father would have been in the UK more than 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can apply for passport for your child directly, but that's the father's. You can apply for passport, but that's the father's job, not you.
Oh, okay. So my husband needs to apply.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll take one more and I'll be off. Just one more question and I'm going to go off. Okay, I don't know whether people are sending me a question here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate all of you. I think those who want to send me questions have already called in to ask questions, and you can see I have answered their questions for them. I cannot see any other question hanging here that I haven't dealt with. Yeah, okay, you have been trying me. You have been trying to call. Quickly.
Hello?
Yeah, hello dear.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. 1 minute, please, quickly.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to find out, can someone use a child birth certificate to have his paper done?
What status has the child got?
British.
And how do we know that the child is British?
The mother is British.
Where is the mother's passport? Where is the passport of the mother?
It's British as well.
So are you staying with the mother? Are you living together?
Yeah, it's just the father. I just want to confirm if we can use the birth certificate.
Are you the father or you are just...
No, I'm calling on behalf of my friend.
Go and ask your friend.
The guy wanted to use the birth certificate to have his paper. So I'm thinking, is it possible?
Yeah, if it will only be possible if the guy is living with the mother of the child, and the guy is going to put the passport of the mother forward. If the guy is not putting,
he hasn't got that one.
No, it's not possible. You cannot use just birth certificate. I am afraid it's going to be tight. There are a lot of children in the UK with birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it? You know the rules have changed.
The guy thinks he can use the birth certificate.
How old is the child?
11 months.
Nah. You need to show evidence that the child is British. And the only way to show evidence that the child is British, it will be through the mother's passport. So you cannot just rely on the child's birth certificate in the UK to confirm their citizenship anymore. That has changed. The rules have changed since 31st of December 1981 under the Immigration and Nationality Law.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, dear. I've got to go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to applaud you for coming on my line to listen to the immigration and immigration update during the coronavirus lockdown. And that's what I have for you today. My name has not changed. My page is where you can see me, see my picture there all the time. Please don't accept friend requests from me, because I will never ask for friend requests from anybody. Always join my page if you really need me to follow me on. I won't go in to go and ask for friend requests. So I will never request for friend requests from anybody. So anybody that use my name to ask for friend requests, please don't accept it. You know that I've never raised money for anybody or raised money on my platform. So nobody should ask money in my name. That is not possible. Anyway, it's not about being arrogant. I have never asked for money from anyone on this planet. And I have never raised money on this platform as well to say that I want to use it for certain things for people. I have never done that. So it will not be easy for anyone to use my name to collect money outside. They will only be able to use others that's collecting money on their platform, but not on my platform. I stand corrected. My platform is to educate the community, the world at large, on what is going on around us, especially on immigration and nationality law, and also to give us some education on things about family happening at homes. Apart from that, I want to let you know that I will never ask for money from anyone, and I will never ask for friend requests. I have a long page and large page. All names are on my page. Any name you want to check, they are my friends on my page. They follow me, they like me. No matter how big that person, they are all on my page. They are mine, and that is the way it is. They are mine. All of them are mine, and they are all on my page. They follow me. So I won't ask for friend requests from anyone. Please take care until next time when we meet. My name has not changed. I appreciate all of you, and I thank you for coming on my platform. Take care, stay home and stay safe. And wherever you are doing, don't forget, coronavirus, whatever it's called, COVID-19 is real. Coronavirus is real. It is not fake. Please take care of yourself. Until next time, bye for now.